Okay, General Math 2 students, so here's an example of how to construct an ogive and then analyse that ogive. So for an ogive we need to do a cumulative frequency histogram. So the first task here will be to complete this table which groups the data, and then I'll show you how we find this final column for the cumulative frequency, and I'll talk about what that is. But first off, we're going to tally the data. So I'm going to look here and I see 78, so that fits into this group here in the 70s, of course, and we'll go through and do each of these. You guys can tally it up at the same time and check your tally against mine. Make sure I get it right. $72, 80. So of course this data is showing the results of radar gun testing on people's speeds. So the police force might use this data to see if, dangerous driving on different roads. Is there a particular area where people are driving really fast, or somewhere where we need extra safety features. Lots in the 60s, last few, and there we go. I'll just squeeze him in there. We can see that there, in the first group, there's 2. Okay, it's a bit messy. 13. Most people travelling in the 60 kilometre to 70 kilometre group. Okay, so here is the frequency for each group. There are 2 people in the speed between 40 and 50, and 5 between 50 and 60, and so forth. Only 1 person up above 90 kilometres an hour. I bet they got a big fine. But anyway, let's do this CF column, the cumulative frequency. In fact, I'll change colour on this. The cumulative frequency. In this one, we're going to add up the groups as we go. So we start with 2, and then we add both of these together, 2 and 5 to make 7. Then 7 and 13 make 20. Oh, that's a 3, not a 2. 20, 26, and 29, and at the end 30, which matches the number of cars that were tested. So if we didn't end up with 30 there, we'd know we'd added something up incorrectly. Okay, so now the ogive is all about this cumulative frequency. So I'll go over to the next page. Now we've got to draw the ogive here. So if we look back, we know we go from 40 to 50, and let's see how many we've got to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups, and over here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 divisions. It's a bit of a funny one, but let's see if we had 15. I reckon if we go in 3, I reckon this. Let me think about this for a sec. If we go 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80, that's not going to quite get it there. So we might have to go in 2s. It's not a very good scale, this one. We'll just work with what we've got. So we'll say this is 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 to 100. Now it's just a bit crowded, that, so I'm just going to just neaten this up. And let's go 0, 50, 50 to 60. So 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100. Okay, so this is the speed down here. 40 to 50 to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Speed in kilometers per hour. And up here we're going to have cumulative frequency, CF, up on this axis here. Now we get up to 30, so we've got to go up to at least 30 here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 4, 6, 8, 30. So this one fits pretty well if we go up in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. We're going to end up at the highest is going to be 30, so that's what we want to get to. Okay, so now we need to draw our cumulative frequency. So in the first group, 40 to 50, there were 2. So we're going to go up to 2 on here. So I'll make our box there, our first column. And then after that, we end up at 7, then 20, and so forth. So we've done 2. Now we're going to go 7 in the next group, which is about there. Hold on, 2, 4, 6. Yep, that's right, 7. And then we're up to, what are we up to next? Is it 10? 20, all the way up to 20. So this is shoots up here for this one. Up to 20. So use a ruler to do this. Makes it a lot more accurate. 26 here. Okay. Then 29 and 30. So here 29, which is about there, maybe a little higher than that. I'll just fix that up a little bit. Let's just go a tad higher. Should be halfway along there. That's not too bad. And then finally in the last column, 30. So here's our cumulative frequency histogram. Now this isn't actually the ogive yet. To get the ogive, we draw a polygon, which looks like this. We're going to start down at this corner. We go corner to corner, there, and then to the next one we connect that. Then we connect that, and this. And now I've got my ogive. This blue thing is the ogive. Okay, now this looks fine. But in actual fact, and like when you guys construct one of these, you're just going to have to work with this as is. But in actual fact, it's going to make it a lot easier for me not to have these columns here anymore. All I really need now is the ogive. So I've got this technology that can rub it out. You guys won't have that on paper, but it'll just make things look a little easier. So I'll just leave it like this, unless I can get at this one. Yep, I got him. The rest I'll just leave alone. Okay, so let's answer these questions now. What did we have on the other side? We've tallied it, and part B must be to make the thing, the ogive. Can't see it there, but that's what it must have been. How many vehicles were travelling at a speed of less than 75 kilometres per hour? Okay, so for this one, we're going to go from down here at 75, which is right there in between these two. So 40, 50, 60, 70, 75 here. And I'll just get a pen going. Okay, so 75. We go from there, we go up to the Ogive. And then across. Just bear with me here, sorry. Okay, up and across. Now, of course, we may get different answers to one another because we're drawing this on a graph, and hand-drawn graphs aren't always entirely accurate. But this says to me it's about 20. That's 22, roughly 23, because you can't have 22 point something cars. So we'll say close enough to 23. How many? 23. So all these cars in this region were travelling at less than 75. So that's how many. You go up and then left to the left axis, the y-axis. Now the next one, we're asked what fraction of vehicles were travelling at a speed of less than 58 kilometres per hour. Okay, so with this one, we're going to go over to the 58, which is roughly here. It doesn't have to be surgically accurate, but that's close enough to 58, just below 60. And then across, and we get 2, 4, 5, I reckon. 5 out of 30. 5 out of 30. See if you can cancel that down. You can pause the video now and give that a go. Okay, I'm going to have a go at it now. 5 over 30 is the same as 1 by 5 over 6 by 5. So those 5s will cancel out. And this is the same. 5 over 30 is the same as 1/6. So 1/6 of the vehicles were travelling at a speed of less than 58 kilometres per hour. How many were travelling at more than 65? Okay, let's get this orange pen for more than. 65 is here. So I'm going to go up and across. Now, the number we hit here is, of course, 12. But that's how many were travelling less than 65 kilometres per hour. How many were travelling more than? Well, there's 12 less, and the rest were all travelling faster than that, of the 30. So if we subtract that 12 from 30, we get 18. So 18 drivers are travelling more than. So we subtract the number we get here from the total number, if we're asked about more than. Okay, so if it's less than, just whatever number you get. But if it's more than, you're going to have to subtract it from the total. Okay, so police are going to enforce a fine on all those travelling at over 78 kilometres per hour. Okay, so 78 kilometres per hour. Let's go and find that. And here it is, about there, roughly. And across. And it's around about, say, I think 25. Okay, so 25 people were travelling at 78 or less. This is about asking about over that. So, of course, once again, we'll subtract that from the total number. So there were 5 people over 78 kilometres per hour. So 5 of the drivers would get a fine here. Okay, so that's how we construct an Ogive from a cumulative frequency histogram, and that's how we use the Ogive to answer those questions. You'll also be asked about percentages, and of course in that case, I did speak with you guys about this the other day, but in that case we make a percentage axis on this side, and right up the top is 100%, and down the bottom is 0%. Now 30 drivers is 100%, so 50% of those would be 15 drivers. So right here is at 50%. Okay, now if you're asked about percentages, like for instance, what percentage of drivers would be travelling, say, above 65, which was the first question. Sorry, 75, for instance. So we go up, and instead of going to the left, we go to the right to hit our percentage axis. And we had, well, it's roughly, what do we hear, 50%? It's pretty close to 75%, right between those. So I'm going to say approximately 75% were travelling at 75 kilometres or above. So that's just a quick one on using that percentage axis, but we'll do some more examples like that in class. Okay, thanks for watching. Try the recommended questions now.